Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the Indian art history, Mauryan and Buddhist period. The North Indian Maurya Empire flourished from 322 BC to 185 BC. At its maximum extent, it controlled all of the Indian subcontinent except the extreme south and the extreme north, like Kashmir and Afghanistan. Other than that, it controlled the entire subcontinent. And the art from that period was Indian as well as it was influenced by ancient Persia, Greek, etc. The type of arts. The Emperor Ashok, who died in 232 BC, adopted Buddhism about halfway through his 40-year career and patronized several large stupas. A stupa is a structure built upon the remains of Lord Buddha. It was made at key sites from the life of the Buddha, although very little decoration from the Maurya period is surviving till date, and there may not have been much decoration in the first place. There is more decoration from even ancient periods, but in the Maurya period it was declined slightly. The most famous survival is the large animals surmounting several of the pillars of Ashoka, which showed confident and boldly mature style and craft, and first of its kind iron casting without rust until the present times. Thousands of years ago they created the iron pillars, but till date they have not rusted. So it was a marvel of metallurgy, which was in use by Vedic people of rural areas and up to the Mauryan Empire times. Though we have very few remaining examples showing its development. The famous detached lion capital of Ashoka, that is the lion emblem of Ashoka, with 4 animals on 4 sides, was adopted as the official emblem of India after the Indian independence. Mauryan sculpture and architecture is characterized by a very fine Mauryan polish given to the stone or metals, which is rarely found in later periods. It was so fine that it feels as if it has been given by a machine rather than hand. Many small popular terracotta figurines are also recovered in archaeology, in a range of often vigorous but crude styles. Both animals and human figures are found. The most famous subject of those times for the statues was the yakshas. Yakshas seem to have been the object of important cult in the early period of Indian history. Many of them being known such as Kubera, king of the Yakshas, Manibhadra or Mudrangapani or Mudgarpani. The Yakshas are broad class of nature spirits, usually benevolent but sometimes mischievous or capricious, connected with water, fertility, trees, forests, treasures, wilderness, and were the object of popular worship. Many of them were later incorporated into Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism. In the 2nd century BC, Yakshas became the focus of the creation of colossal cult images, typically around 2 meters or more in height, which are considered as probably the first Indian anthropomorphic productions in stone. Anthropomorphic means exactly like human, resembling human. Although few ancient Yaksha statues remain in good condition, the vigor of the style has been applauded and expresses essentially Indian qualities. They are often pot-bellied, two-armed and fierce-looking. The yakshas are often depicted with weapons or attributes such as the yaksha Mudgar Pani, who in the right hand holds a Mudgar. Mudgar means a mace or a gada, and in the left hand the figure of a small standing devotee or child joining hands in prayer. It is often suggested that the style of the colossal yaksha statuary had an important influence on the creation of later divine images and human figures in India. The Ganpati statues have been influenced by the yaksha statues most, most of the times. The female equivalent of the yakshas were the yakshinis, often associated with trees or children, and the style of yakshinis became omnipresent in Indian art. Some Hellenistic influence. Hellenistic means Greek, Greek influence, such as the geometrical folds of the drapery or the walking stance of the statues, has been suggested. According to John Boardman, the scientist, the hem of the dress in the monumental early Yaksha statues is derived from Greek art. Describing the drapery of one of these statues, he writes, "It has no local antecedents and looks most like a Greek late archaic mannerism, and suggests it is possibly derived from the Hellenistic art of nearby Bactria, where the design is known." Bactria means a part of Afghanistan. In ancient times it was known as Bactria. In the production of colossal yaksha statues carved in the round, which can be found in several locations in northern India, the art of Mathura is considered as the most advanced in quality and quantity during this period. Let's talk about the Buddhist art which was created during the Mauryan period. The major survival of Buddhist art began in the period actually after the Mauryas, from which good quantities of sculpture survives. Some key sites are Sanchi, Bharut, Amravati, some of which remain in situ. In situ means on the site where it was found, and others in museums in India or around the world. Stupas were surrounded by ceremonial fences with 4 profusely carved toranas or ornamental gateways facing the cardinal directions. These are in stone, but they are clearly adopting the forms developed in wood. That is, initially the toranas used to be in the wood, but since they wanted it to last longer, they created it in stone. They and the walls of the stupa itself can be heavily decorated with reliefs, mostly illustrating the lives of the Buddha. Gradually, life-size figures were sculpted, initially in deep relief, but then freestanding. Deep relief means on the wall, but in slightly three-dimensional. And freestanding means the statues that we see today. Mathura was the most important center in this development, which applied to Hindu and Jain art as well as Buddhism. The facades and interiors of rock-cut chaitya prayer halls, that is the prayer halls in the caves, and monastic viharas have survived better than similar freestanding structures elsewhere, which were for long, mostly wooden structures. The caves at Ajanta, Karle, Bhaje, and elsewhere contain early sculpture, often outnumbered by later works such as iconic figures of the Buddha and Bodhisattvas, which are not found before 100 AD at the least. Buddhism developed an increasing emphasis on statues of the Buddha, which was greatly influenced by Hindu and Jain religious figurative art. The figures of this period were also influenced by the Greco-Buddhist art of the centuries after the conquest of Alexander the Great. Because after the conquest, Alexander had kept some officers in the region of some of the regions of North India and Pakistan and Afghanistan, and they influence the Buddhist art at the time. The style was Greek, but the subject was Buddhist. This fusion developed in the far northwest of India, especially Gandhar. Gandhar is a part of Afghanistan. The Indian Kushan Empire spread from Central Asia to include northern India in the early centuries of AD and briefly commissioned large statues that were the portraits of the royal dynasty. That will be all today. Thank you.